Hello and welcome to Dog Day Chess. In this episode we're going to look at underpromotion. Underpromotion refers to promoting your pawn to something other than a queen. When your pawn reaches the last rank, you don't have to promote it to a queen. You have the option to promote it to a rook, a bishop, or a knight. Now, why would you do that? The queen is the most powerful piece you can have. Why would you ever want to promote your pawn to something other than a queen? Well, there are some cases where you might want to do that, and I'm going to give you a few examples. So one reason you might want to do that is because it will result in a quicker checkmate. So if you look at this position here, white has the move, and white is well down in material. And even if white does promote this pawn to a queen, black will still be up a full queen and should still win the game quite easily. And if we do follow through with that scenario and watch that pawn being promoted to a queen, we'll see that black has an immediate skewer that it can do to win the queen, and it would be all for nothing. And actually, without the skewer, Fritz, the computer program, does find a mate in 6 for black, even with the queen promotion. So if we go back to before the pawn push, if instead we push that pawn and promote it to a knight, well, we get an instant checkmate. The knight is checking the king, and the rook is covering it off. Another reason why you might want to underpromote is to avoid a stalemate. In this position, white is in check, and it's white's move, so white's best move is to capture the queen with the pawn, but white has to be careful of what piece it promotes that pawn to. If white captures and promotes to a queen, then that's a stalemate, and the game is drawn, and that would be a mistake. Instead, if we go back, what white should do is capture that queen and promote to a rook. So that avoids the stalemate, and leaving the king, the black king, somewhere to move, and then the mate follows quickly after that. This last example shows a situation where we would underpromote for the sake of gaining more material. So if you look at the situation here, it's white's move, and well, first of all, if white were to move the g-pawn, then black would simply capture it and then quickly capture the remaining pawn and then mate. That would be a mistake. Okay. If instead white were to move the d-pawn and promote to a queen, well, then black would just capture the other pawn, and it would be a queen against queen endgame, which would result in a draw. So backing it up, the best move for white would be to promote that pawn to a knight, because doing so forks the king and the queen and will win the queen, and eventually white will go on to promote the other pawn and win the game. So by promoting to a knight instead of a queen, white has a net gain in material, which will result in white winning the game. So those are just 3 examples of when you might want to underpromote, and there are other examples. But as always, I hope you learned something from this lesson, and thanks for watching.